Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. This is a twin flame reading video, which means we are going to be reading into both the divine masculine and divine feminine collective energies. Now, we do tend to experience this polarity, the interplay between the divine masculine and divine feminine played out in physical reality, most dominantly within twin flame connections and relationships. So you may find that certain dynamics we discuss here play out between yourself and your twin flame. If you are someone who has a twin flame in your life or who is physically incarnated and interacting on earth with you at this time. But regardless of whether your twin flame is physically incarnated here or whether you are interacting or in communication in the physical worlds, you will find that these dynamics do apply to your inner divine masculine and inner divine feminine as well. So as I always say, take the messages however they connect with you personally, intuitively. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the reading. Also, if you would like me to channel specifically for you and your situation, be sure to like this video and also double check that you are subscribed to this channel, because by subscribing, this is a form of energy exchange, and this allows me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your current situation. If I can speak there for a second, I kind of tripped over my words. I apologize for that. Someone might be finding themselves feeling a little ungrounded, struggling to communicate themselves to others, either generally or within their twin flame connection. Specifically, I'm picking up on someone who might actually find themselves just wanting to get away, wanting to withdraw from needing to communicate with others, because I'm getting the word burdensome, like 3D communication just feels burdensome for some reason. I feel this person saying like, I just want to exist. I just want to be. I just want to be in the presence of someone who gets me, who understands me without needing to communicate through my 3D words. So that might be relevant for someone. But anyway, as I was saying, I do channel these readings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And for each of those 3 readings, there is also an extended reading on Patreon. So as a part of our Patreon Soul Tribe community, you get access to 3 additional reading videos per week, channeled on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And those are continuations of these public YouTube readings. So more information on the Patreon page is in the pinned comments and description box under the video. Door to Spirit in the reverse position. Okay, someone is being downloaded. That's the word I got. It's like downloaded. And I have to tell you, before I started this reading, I specifically picked up a lot of divine feminines going through a very intense time. And I specifically heard my guides saying, divine feminine, you are carrying a lot right now. So there's a lot of empathic absorption going on for you, divine feminine, meaning you may be very susceptible at this time to picking up a lot of energy from people who may be around you or connected with you. But there's something deeper going on here as well, because I'm hearing activated to heightened sensitivity. So this is kind of a complex message for you, divine feminine, but essentially what I'm getting is you, Divine Feminine, are being activated so that you are capable of sensing energy more intensely. And the purpose of this is actually to activate you to a higher spiritual purpose or calling, to allow you to more profoundly tap into and use your gifts and abilities. Because regardless of what those gifts or abilities are, whether it's starting a business, working, doing a particular job or career, having a family, creating a home, whatever you are manifesting at this time in your life, success in that manifestation comes down to your ability to sense, process, read, shift, mold energy, direct energy. And so your spirit guides, your higher self, the universe, has answered your call to fully step into your spiritual gift and really express it more fully to the world. But the thing is, that requires of you a very intense initiation, an initiation into this heightened level of sensitivity. And the downside of this is that you are going to be increasingly less capable of tolerating lower vibrations. Yeah, the Sun card in the reverse position. What I'm getting is there will be certain people or connections that will not necessarily be able to come with you into this new phase of yourself. But you already know this, Divine Feminine. In fact, I feel that you have already had to leave many people in your life behind. In fact, now your guides are kind of showing me this life progression where every time you reach a new level in life, it feels like you have to burn bridges, or you have to say goodbye, or you have to move on from certain groups of people. And for some of you, this could have reflected in love and romance, but I do sense for a lot of you, this is platonic. I feel I'm picking up on a Divine Feminine who may have changed physical, geographical environments. You may have moved around a lot. You may have shifted friend groups very frequently, or social groups very frequently. And for whoever this is for, your guides want you to know this is because you have experienced a path in this life of exponential spiritual growth. So you've been shifting through timelines, through parallel realities would be another way to think of it, in order to rise to your highest version of self, to raise your vibration to that highest timeline. But the thing is, whenever you hit a certain level, whenever you align with a particular timeline, there are usually people on that timeline that want to tether you energetically. Now, of course, they don't usually do this with ill intent or consciously, but they try to hold you to that particular trajectory, that particular timeline, because they themselves may or may not be capable of rising with you to that highest timeline. So in order to make themselves feel more secure and feel more comfortable, they may try to attach these tethers or strings to kind of hold you to that current version of yourself. But you, Divine Feminine, you are continuing to rise. That is why very often in your life you feel called to call back your power, to take back your energy from even certain family members, from certain groups of people, friends, co-worker situations, love situations. You carry such a beautiful, brilliant, powerful energy. It's almost like I keep getting this image of it's like other people want to capture some of that light and kind of take it for themselves. And it's not always necessarily, again, coming from a bad place. It's just that people around you recognize that you carry this very high frequency, that you are rising, that you are in the process of rising to this very high timeline. And when those people can't find that power, that light within themselves, they will instead attempt to latch on to your power, to latch on to your light, which causes you to feel weighted down in the process. So I don't know who that was for, but if that is connecting with you, I will be channeling more information for you, Divine Feminine, whoever I'm speaking to there, in the extended version of the reading on Patreon. So I was just writing that down so I don't forget to channel that in the extended. So again, more information on the extended reading is in the pinned comments and description box. We will channel more information on what you need to know about these so-called tethers or attachments that hold you to certain timelines, or about you in general rising to this highest version of yourself and what your spirit guides might want you to know about that. But for now, I do want to move this reading along and speak to the Divine Masculine. So right away I heard movement. Something is moving. Something is growing almost behind the scenes, almost secretly within this Divine Masculine's energy. I'm getting brown eyes for someone as well, if that connects. Although do keep in mind, of course, whenever I channel these specific details, these do tend to connect only with specific individuals. I just saw the numbers 11, 14. So one of those numbers might be significant to someone. Okay, so the throat chakra in the reverse position. I hear I'm not speaking, but I'm changing. I'm not sharing or opening up about everything, but there's so much happening beneath the surface. So I want to know what is happening for this Divine Masculine beneath the surface that he may or may not be speaking about. I hid my true self from you because you challenged me to expand. So what I'm getting here is a Divine Masculine who had a moment in the past interplaying with you, Divine Feminine, in the physical world where they had a choice to make. Whoever I'm speaking to here, you, Divine Feminine, in this situation, you gave this masculine the opportunity to expand, to step into their true spiritual power. They had a choice to make. The choice was to rise with you, to step onto that higher path with you, or to remain stuck in a particular karmic cycle or pattern. And I feel that whoever I'm speaking to here, and again, this won't be for everyone, but this particular masculine did not choose at that time to rise. He chose to remain stuck. He chose to remain in these low vibrational patterns, keeping him stuck on that lower vibrational trajectory that ultimately led to some kind of separation for these two twin flames. But I keep hearing the word temporary, like this was a choice that he made at that time. But there's this energy of him changing his mind or something changing very fast here. It's like, I thought I could be happy avoiding my own expansion, but now I realize that I'm feeling so deeply unfulfilled through this separation that now I have no choice but to choose differently. And the card that came out here is the Strength card. Someone might have Leo energy in their birth charts, but this could also speak to something shifting or changing in the upcoming Leo season. So I will be channeling more information on that. But for now, I want to share a little bit about how this Strength card from the traditional tarot ties into this reading. So this card represents compassion, empathy, inner strength, mastering raw emotions in order to bring calm to yourself or to a situation. Focus, persuasion, influence can appear when you're having relationship trouble. So I feel that there was disruption in this connection. I'm hearing trouble in paradise. So there could have been a period of time where things felt extremely aligned with this person. I'm hearing where you felt on fire with passion, with love for each other. But at some point, this masculine had to make a choice and chose wrong at that time. Of course, there is no true rights or wrong when it comes to life. But when I use the word wrong, I mean disaligned to his true soul intentions here in this lifetime. I feel like this is a bit of a side message, but part of why this creates a lot of pain for both counterparts here, this masculine making a choice disaligned to his true soul intentions, is because even the divine feminine here, who may have chosen the separation, who may have chosen to rise on her own here after the masculine made this choice to remain stuck, I see that they both feel the pull of this highest timeline representing their soul's purest intentions, their soul's intentions prior to incarnating here, which were for them to align with each other, which were for them to fully connect and to share some kind of mission or purpose here. So it's almost like when you are separated from this person, you feel this energetic pull that can become very painful, which is the pull of that highest timeline where you are together, where you are fully in alignment with one another. And when you feel the pain, what you're really feeling is the contrast, the difference between where you are at this time with this person and that highest timeline that you long for, either consciously or subconsciously, in those unconscious aspects of yourself that remember those soul intentions. So, wow, very intense messages coming through. But what you need to know with Magician in the Mirror upright is that the movement in the divine masculine that I mentioned earlier represents things coming into balance. Specifically, the words that stood out with the Strength Tarot card were raw emotions. I feel this masculine is facing a lot of very deep, very raw emotions, but just generally feeling very raw at this time. Feeling very emotional, very vulnerable at this time when it comes to thinking about you and the connection divine feminine. So I want to know what these raw emotions are. I'm releasing my ego because you are the only one that holds my heart. With the thinking man reversed, it's almost like this masculine being forced. It's like his ego is being forced to the side. It's being broken through. It's like he tried to hold on so tightly to this mask that he was putting on, this surface level presentation of himself that caused him to feel safe, but that wasn't expressing who he truly was. And now, through realizing that you hold his heart, divine feminine, that no one else can hold his heart, it's like I hear him saying, I'm not capable of giving my heart away fully to anyone else. And this is causing him not only to break through these layers of ego, I'm hearing ego death. So that could be the stage of awakening that many masculines are going through at this time, but also with strategy upright. I see this masculine looking to the future. I'm hearing getting himself organized, wanting things to be different in the future than they've been in the past, but knowing that he has to come forward with clear intentions. There's something about intentions here. It's like the divine feminine here is demanding clear intentions from this masculine: clarity, openness, vulnerability. And this masculine recognizes this, even if it's at some subconscious level. Financial constraints in the upright position. So many masculines, I'm hearing drowning himself in work or really focusing on work. There could also be masculines who are worried at times about their work situation, their work moving into the future. I also hear there's certain masculines just asking themselves, is this all there is when it comes to work, when it comes to their career? For many of them, they may have never asked themselves what they truly wanted, what their path was truly supposed to be in this lifetime. But you, divine feminine, are calling them towards this higher soul's purpose, connecting them in with third eye chakra uprights, with their intuition. That is causing them to feel some discomforts around certain aspects of the material path they are on that no longer feel aligned with them, including for some of them, their career or work situation. So in the extended version of the reading, I will be channeling more into the divine masculine energy, so more into what he is thinking and feeling at this time. But for now, I'm going to do something a bit different and Before we close this first reading here on YouTube, I actually want to channel more information on how this situation between the twins could be moving forward into the future, or how, in other words, if you are applying this to your inner masculine and feminine, how the divine masculine and divine feminine will be moving together, integrating together, interacting, moving into the future. Contract in the reverse position. Any remaining karmic contracts will be fully broken and released. What are these remaining karmic contracts for some in the collective? Fifth chakra in the reverse position, not communicating your truth. I'm actually seeing this for both the masculine and feminine, because for the feminine, there may have been struggles to really vocalize your needs, your desires, to no longer people please or filter your communication of yourself through words, through action, through presentation of yourself, to no longer filter that through what you perceive others want you to be, but to be fully true to yourself, to stand empowered in your most authentic communication of self. For the masculine, I see this connecting with, in the past, him being hot and cold when it comes to his communication within a love connection that causes him to feel so seen that at times it terrifies him, causes him to pull back his communication. All of this is going to be ironed out moving into the future. And I do feel this is actually a dynamic with happy family reversed that may have caused a prevention of alignments into reunion in the physical world of some counterparts. But again, this dynamic is going to be shifted. I'm also hearing inner child wounds with this happy family card reversed. So some of this throat chakra energy, the divine feminine being afraid to communicate her needs, her desires, her true self to the world, as well as the masculine being afraid to connect within a connection where there is vulnerable, open communication. Both of those may also resemble deep-seated inner child wounds for both the masculine and feminine that are being healed at this time. So how else this situation between the twins may be moving forward? The first card here is journey. So someone here may be guided to move to a different geographical location, to take some kind of trip. But also I'm seeing that at some point in the future, if you are separated physically or geographically from your person, I see that there is a deep heart healing taking place within your specific connection with broken heart reversed. You might be seeing a lot of the number 999 as well. And in addition to this, if this is your circumstance, I see that for this subset of twins, you are going to have a window of opportunity for the two of you to reconnect in some way, to share some kind of physical experience in the 3D world together. So again, if you've been physically or geographically separated, this may be a visit, it may be a trip, one of you going to see the other, but there's something very physical, material about this that is going to play a role in the healing of the heart center of your connection. Adjacent possibilities in the reverse. So another way that this twin flame energy, the interplay between the masculine and feminine, is going to be moving forward is by continuing to address and close out any lower vibrational timelines that may still be pulling, tugging on your energy, or trying to tether you to a lower vibrational place. So you may even find that people from your past come back, either friends or romantically speaking. And I'm seeing the number 444 for someone. These people from your past might surface again. I'm hearing there's like an energetic closure taking place here. So if people do come back, the number 2424 might be significant to you. Know that this may represent you having the opportunity to get that energetic or emotional closure necessary to free yourself from lower vibrational timelines, to either allow those connections to transform to a higher vibrational version of the connection, meaning you connect with that person now through love, through compassion, through authenticity, instead of through fear, through control, through not showing up as your authentic self. Or if it's not possible to transform that connection into a higher vibrational version, you may need to be self-honoring to yourself and committed enough to your highest timeline to let go of some people and connections from your life at this time as well. So in the extended version of the reading, of course, we will be channeling more into both the divine masculine and divine feminine energy here. I will also be channeling higher self-love messages from both the masculine and feminine to one another and addressing some of those points that came up earlier in the reading. But for now, I'm going to close this YouTube reading with just one final Rumi Oracle card. And this card is Passion of the Wild Red Mother. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. Don't ask the conscious ones about the wine. Behold the glowing effect of it in the eyes of the drunks. Rumi. And the guidebook here also says, even in the spiritually minded, there can be a driving fear, thinly veiled as devotion to the most arduous path. Perhaps for a while that serves as a truth of sorts, but eventually there will come a time when smaller truths must give way to larger ones, so the soul can truly be free to grow. Passion is the bridge that leads you from a smaller truth that suffering is necessary in order to heal, towards a larger and more luscious experience of life as a divine embrace. If you are able to rise to the passion that is possible for you, you'll let the wild red mother consume your philosophies and doctrines. This oracle comes to you with a message. It is a big cosmic yes. It is also an invitation to let go of struggling and suffering, not with regret or shame, but with gentle acknowledgement that it has had its purpose. It now has a bigger purpose, that of passion, which calls you to engage in the embrace of life with more abandon than ever before. Now is the time to let go of belief systems and needing to know anything. It is time to trust in the beating of your own hearts and in the people, places, and experiences that truly move you, whether it makes sense or appears to be logical or not. Thank you so much for tuning in with this reading. I really am so grateful for each and every one of you. I'm wishing you the most beautiful start to your week, sending you so much healing, love, and light at this time. The extended version of this reading is now available on Patreon. And again, there is more information on that in the pinned comments and description box under the video. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Monday, and I will talk to you again in Wednesday's Twin Flame reading.